we get into how you came up with the concept, how did you come up with the name? Because Conviviality is not, it's not just your everyday name that you roll off the tongue. Do you get people, you know, saying it's a tongue twister?
Well, it is.
I love the name. Don't get me wrong. So people, it's a lovely name. I'm just wondering how she came up with the name.
How it came about.
Yeah.
But it was probably about 2 years ago, and I'd been working on this business idea for a while, and I kept thinking, you know, for me the name is sort of, you know, the name and the branding sort of was the start point and the bit that's really enjoyable, and so I had to find the right name, and you know, there were many midnight hours working, and I sat at my desk thinking, right, got to find the right name, and thinking, you know, I wanted it to say sociable and fun, but sophisticated, and it's for savvy women, so I wanted it to be quite a sophisticated name. And Conviviality came up, and by which time I probably had a couple of large glasses of wine, and I thought, I love that
alcohol is always involved somehow.
Exactly. So the name was born, and the name landed that evening, and then from that moment on, I hear people struggling over the word, but it's really easy when you think about it in parts.
Yeah, and when you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
fantastic.
It's a lovely name, and do your customers, do they get it? Do they get the name?
I think they do. And I think that, you know, like any business, I don't think it really matters what you call your business. It's about how you engage with your customers and how you build awareness about your brand. And you know, I think once people, as you say, you know, once the people get it, they get it. You know, I had an amazing career, but I always kept thinking, what if I was doing this for myself? And so yeah, so it just suddenly, and I met some very inspirational people, and I think when you work for a corporation, it's very easy to get very sort of focused on what happens inside that business and the people you meet relating to that business. And a couple of people sort of said to me, oh, you know, you must meet a friend of mine, or you must meet a contact of mine, blah, blah, blah. And then I sort of made it my goal for that year that when everybody or anybody said, you know, you must meet, I thought, yes, I am absolutely going to take the time, go and have a coffee with all of these different people.
That's good.
And it's amazing that, you know, I mean, networking is such an overused word, but it is so powerful.
I'm having a networker after you. She runs a networking group, yeah. You're going to love her. You meet her anyway. She's fantastic. I haven't met her, but I know she's fantastic because we've spoken and we're on Twitter together. So.
No, but I think it's one of those things that you never know what might come out of a conversation over a cup of coffee. And I met a woman who, she has her own business and is a bit of a serial entrepreneur, and she's an amazing woman, and it just made me think, do you know what, it is possible, and you know, I absolutely admire you, and do you know what, I need to go do that.
So do you think that, I mean, for anyone listening and they're thinking they want to start their own business, do you think it's important to listen to people who have already done it, and that's sort of like the catalyst or the push behind, yeah, just might do this? Because you may not have met these people, and I'm just wondering if you would have still taken the plunge at that time. Maybe you'd have done it later on. Do you think?
I think it's one of those things. You have to be really careful, because I think you should talk to as many people as possible and hear lots of different views. But equally, you've got to be very sure of, you know, they are other people's views and they're not necessarily yours, and sort of balance them all to not be swayed by, you know, what a couple of influential people say. If you really believe you can do it and you can make it work, and you know, there are always the sort of, you know, the people do that. Ooh, why do you want to leave a lovely corporate job and a big fat salary?
Do you have that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. You know, but there are people that, you know, are risk, you know, prevalent, and people that aren't. And I think you have to make your own mind up. That's the most important thing. But listen well to what everybody has to offer, and take the bits that you want to learn from. But yeah.